Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for logging in and participating in this webinar where we will be discussing the program demographic survey, which is part of your second benchmark or responsibility Children's Forum Portal. My name is Dacieli Cruz, and I will be hosting this webinar. I also have my colleague here, Flor Brito, with me. She's joining the webinar. Just wanted to make sure that you knew that this webinar is being recorded for future reference. We have muted everyone just out of courtesy so that everyone can hear. We will unmute everyone after each section of questions because we understand that you might have questions for every section, and please, out of courtesy, we ask that you please mute your audio if you're not speaking. I also recommend that if you have any questions while we are going through the webinar, that you use the chat box and type in your questions, and we'll be more than happy to address them, okay? So before we start the actual webinar, I wanted to go over the process for the first step that all of you needed to have completed for the site access request. And so that's something that I wanted to go over. So part of the first benchmark, all of you had to request a site access through the forum portal. And after that process was completed, you should have received a confirmation email. Here's an example of the confirmation email that you should have received for your business account. After receiving this confirmation email, you should have gotten another email to reset your password because the first entry you were given a temporary password, so you should have gotten a second email for resetting your password. If you did not receive this email confirmation that you see on your screen, please make sure to look at your junk or trash folders in your email, as they could have gone there. This next sample is a sample email for resetting your password for your business account that you should have gotten shortly after the confirmation email for your business account. There are specific instructions, as you can see here. The email specifies that this is a one-time link that needed to be used by a specific time and date. And so if you did not use that link by the deadline, then that link would have expired. And so you would have needed to request a reset of your password again. And this is the information here on this screen that you can ask or request a reset of your password. The address, the URL address is at the top of the screen. And all you would need to do is enter your email address there, and you will get an email such as this one with the one-time link and the expiration. So you can use it to reset your password and have access to this next step of the portal process, which is the program survey. Another thing, if you never received any information for your site access request and you are reaching out to the Career Center, our email is at the bottom of the screen. Please make sure to include your request ID in the email because that is the way that we can find your information in the system and check what the status is of your request for your site access. I want to remind you that if you did not reset your password and follow the process for resetting your password, you will not be able to do this or complete this process for the program survey. So I want to make sure that we're very clear that you must have first completed the first step of the site access, received a confirmation email, followed by a reset of your password so that you can have access to this process, okay? I'm going to unmute everyone to see if anyone has any questions at all about the site access before we get started on the program survey. So I have unmuted everyone. If anyone has any questions about the site access piece, please let us know.
Hi, can you put back, good afternoon. Can you put back the slide to recover? Because I didn't receive the second email to change the
Sure, this one.
Oh, yes.
That one.
Yeah.
If you go, yeah, you can copy that. It's https://login.thechildrensforum.com/login/recover, and that'll take you to this reset, create, or change your password. And then you can enter your email address there and submit. And shortly after that, you should receive this email for resetting your password.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have any other questions? I see that Samara has her hand raised.
Yes, what if you haven't received the email?
If you haven't received the email, Samara, go ahead and log into this page to reset your password, enter your email address, and submit it so that we can send you an email like this one so that you can get the link to reset your password.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so if no one else has any other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute everyone. I'm sorry, mute everyone so that we can get started. Okay, so the first step to logging into the program survey is to go into the Children's Forum portal and click on the login button that you see here. That will bring you to this page, which is the login for existing accounts. And as you can see, we have X'd out the login for personal account because you're not gonna log into your personal account. You're gonna log into your business accounts. So please make sure that you press that and click on login to business accounts. That'll bring you to this screen, which at that point, you're going to enter your business account username and the password that you resetted previously, that was reset. And now that's gonna bring you to the dashboard. Now on the dashboard page, you're going to click on the side tab that says Site Demographics. And that's gonna bring you to this page. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go over all of these sections and make sure that I explain all the sections, and then I'm gonna unmute everyone to see if anyone has any specific questions. So this first page is for staffing information. And what you're gonna enter here is, you're gonna enter the position that the employee was hired to fill. That's the most important piece. And so for the first question, you're gonna enter how many lead and assistant teaching positions do you currently employ at this program? Now, employ means that they currently exist at your program, whether they are filled by someone or not. And so you're only gonna enter information for lead and assistant teachers in question number 1. For question number 2, you're gonna enter how many other teaching positions you have at the site. So for example, floaters and substitutes, do you currently employ at your program, whether they are filled or vacant? Okay, now remember, when you're entering the staffing information, you're going to look at your program as a whole, and then you're going to categorize each position and identify those positions in the staffing information. For the next question is, how many directors, assistant directors, owners, or other administrators do you currently employ at this program, either filled or vacant? The next question is, for educational support positions, such as curriculum specialists, do you currently employ at this program, either filled or vacant? And the last question is, how many other positions not counted above, such as secretaries, cooks, janitors, drivers, do you currently employ at this program, either filled or vacant? So the most important thing for this page is that every field on this page must have a numeric number. Otherwise, your request will display errors during and after the process is complete. For family childcare homes, we understand that staffing is a little bit different. And so for family childcare homes, the director is going to put 1 under question number 3 and count themselves as the director or admin, and then put 0 on all the other questions unless there is a position for assistant teacher or substitute teacher. And if there is a position for assistant or substitute, then you're going to enter that information in question number 2 for if there's a substitute. If you have 1 substitute, you're going to enter 1. Or if you have an assistant teaching position, in the first question, you're going to enter 1. But for family childcare homes, we need you all to report yourself as the director by entering 1 in the director and admin section, which is question number 3. Another important thing to point out is that position should only be counted 1 time and should report position the employee was hired for. Sometimes we do have split positions that you guys are going to be requiring your staff, or even the director has split positions. So when you have someone that has a split position, you're going to be entering the data for the position where the most time is invested or the highest level position. So I'm going to put an example. If you have a director that also teaches VPK 3 hours a day, you're not going to count the director as a teacher. You're going to count the director as a director. Most of that person's time is in that administrator role. In the same position with a teacher, if a teacher's time is split 20 hours as an assistant teacher and 20 hours as a floater, let's say, the position that needs to be reported is the highest level position. So then you would report that teacher as an assistant teacher instead of a floater, because that position is considered higher than the floater. So those are some of the examples for the positions and also for people who have multiple positions or split positions. I'm going to go ahead and unmute, and obviously once you enter all the data in each of the sections, you click on the next button to follow the next step. So I'm going to unmute everyone to see if anyone has any questions. So go ahead.
Okay, I have a question.
And please make sure to mute your phone, your audio if you are not speaking.
So
go ahead.
let's say you don't have like a cleaning staff. What would you put on the would you put 0 so it's not vacant?
Yes.
It's not filled because you don't have.
So any position that you don't have, you put 0.
Okay.
So if you don't employ secretaries or cooks or janitors or drivers, you would put 0 on that last question. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions on this specific staffing information section? I think the most important thing to remember is, Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is Melissa. I can't remember if you said, I'm from the Children's Forum, for those who don't know. You want to count part-time and full-time positions, just to be clear about that.
Yes, thank you, Melissa. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next section. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. All right, so this next section is for the compensation of your staff. And the first question says, what is the starting hourly wage for entry-level teachers at this program? So what we want to see is what the minimum wage is paid to lead teachers in your program. And so this area here, for staffing compensation, is basically for you to report the benefits offered to the compensation and the benefits offered to your staff by position that receives the most benefits. So, for example, if you are hiring a lead teacher and you are going to be reporting, let's say the lead teacher comes in, every single lead teacher comes in at $8.25 an hour, for example. And that lead teacher, you know, she has to be employed with you for 6 months in order for her to be eligible to any or all the benefits that you have available. What you're going to do is you're going to list the benefits that are available to the highest level position at your site, so that we understand what kind of benefits are available to everyone, even if specific benefits or partial benefits belong to specific positions. So in this section, we want to collect data on your starting minimum wage paid to the teachers. Obviously, if you're open during the summer break, but also benefits that are available to any teacher and or educational support staff at your program. And that is for, we want you to report for the position that receives the most benefits, regardless of whether the benefits are actually taken or not. Another thing I wanted to mention is that there's a button at the bottom of this page that says previous, and you can always check back to any of the pages if you need to make any edits. To page 1, you can go back and using the previous button and go back to page 1 and make whatever changes you need to make in the event that you needed to make some edits. But another thing, anytime you go to any page and you make edits, you need to make sure to save and close, to click on the button on the bottom that says save and close, to make sure that your information is being submitted and recorded. So I'm going to unmute everyone so that you can ask questions on this section. So go ahead. Anyone has any questions?
Daisy, this is Melissa. Just another clarification.
Yes.
Whenever we say minimum wage paid to the lead teacher, we're not referring to the state's minimum wage of, I think it's $8.10 an hour right now per se, unless that is the lowest level pay that you will provide a lead teacher coming in. I just want to clarify the distinction. We're asking for whatever is your lowest level pay that you would pay a lead teacher coming into your program. If you don't go any lower than $8.50 an hour, that's what you would put. So just want to clarify that.
Thank you, Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue. This next section is for reporting the children in care. So on the children in care page, you're going to enter information about the children enrolled and services offered at your program. And obviously, when you're done, you can click next. If you do not have children participating in the school readiness program, you can enter 0 for that question. So in this page, you're going to enter the number of children currently enrolled at your program, not the capacity of your license. You're going to enter the children that are actually enrolled in your program. For question 2, the number of children currently participating in school readiness. If you have none, you put 0. And then if you offer VPK, and if your site is part of Head Start or Early Head Start. Once you finalize entering this data, you're going to click next. So are there any questions on this page? I've unmuted everyone to see if anyone has any questions. Okay, great. So now we can continue to the next page, which is on technology accessibility. So on this page, we basically just want to gauge if your site has a scanner or scanning, and if your site has internet connection that the teachers have access to and can use, and if you all have a fax machine. Now, I wanted to point out that the word site on this page means your program, your facility, your home. And once you finalize answering all the questions, you can click next to continue to the next section. Now, any questions on this page? Okay, I didn't think we were going to have questions on this page. Okay, so let's continue. So this is the last part of the program survey process. And I want to spend a little time on this page because I want to make some clarifications with regard to the I agree section and the save and close. So before you enter your name here and click I agree and save and close, we highly recommend that you go to the button that says previous and you check all of the data that was entered on pages 1 through 4 to ensure that the data is correct and that there are no errors in any of the data that you entered in pages 1 through 4. The reason we say this is because once you click I agree and save and close, your account will be locked. And so you won't be able to make any changes. So the most important thing to remember on this last page, page 5, is to make sure that you go back to pages 1 through 4 using the previous button and check all the data before you enter your name, you click I agree and save and close, okay? Now, the survey will automatically be available in the portal for 4 months after the date it was submitted and will remain available up to 6 months after the date for your programs to update the information in the event that your number of staff positions employed has changed, or you have more children in school readiness or less children in school readiness, or you have an increase or decrease in enrollment. So you, after this information has been entered, you will have access to this survey for up to 6 months so that you can make any changes if necessary. Now, once you are sure 100% that your information is accurate and complete, you enter the name of the person completing this form, which I assume it will be you, and you click I agree and then click save and close. And just once again, once the I agree and save and close are clicked, your account will be locked and no changes will be permitted at that time. So are there any questions about this page? I have unmuted everyone so you can ask questions.
Hey, this is Melissa again. I just wanted to say in terms of the time frame that the survey will be available again, once you complete the survey, you won't have access to it until 4 months later. So from the day you complete it, it'll be locked and you won't have access for 4 months. Between 4 and 6 months, for that 2-month period of time, it will become available again so that you can make updates. Basically, you can make updates every 4 months, and between that 4 to 6 month time frame and that 2-month time frame, you can make updates. So I just want to make sure it's clear once you click the I agree and you save and close. If everything is if everything has been completed, it's going to go away. The survey is going to go away. It's going to be locked. You won't have access to it again until 4 months later.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue. So after you have submitted your program survey, you see this page. So if you see this page, your program demographic survey has now been submitted. If this page does not appear, when you click I agree and save and close, there is an error in your survey. You will have to go back and check each page on your survey for red error messages and make corrections as needed. And once you have made all the corrections, you can click save and close on all the pages, and then on the last page 5, you can enter your name and click I agree and save and close, and you should be looking for this screen to show up where it tells you the business accounts are required to reconfirm a site's demographic information for every 4 to 6 months to maintain account access, which is what Melissa was referring to. And if the survey shows errors, you will be directed back into the survey so that you can complete the missing information so that you can submit your survey successfully. Are there any questions regarding this page? Okay. So we wanted to provide you with the contact information for the Career Center. This is our 1888 number. It changed from the 305-639-2726. So we kindly ask that you contact the Career Center using this number. This is our main line, and or you can send us an email at careercenter@thechildrensforum.com with whatever issue or clarification or assistance you need, and we'll be more than happy to help you. We really appreciate you taking the time to discuss this process. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, please make sure to reach out to us. I'm going to unmute everyone to see if anyone has any final questions about this process before we finish the presentation. So I've unmuted everyone, and please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so I think no one has any questions. Melissa, did you want to clarify any other items?
I think I would just emphasize that if you do click, you get through the whole process and you click I agree and save and close. If you see survey items after that, that means there was an error somewhere. If the survey is still showing on your screen once you do that, that means you had an error. You probably accidentally skipped an item, a question or something. So you want to go back through the survey, make sure all your items are complete, and then go through the whole process again of I agree, save and close. Once you have truly submitted that survey, you will only see that, can you go back to slide 16 again, Daisy? You will only see this portion on your screen. You won't see any survey items. That's how you'll know for sure that you did successfully submit your survey.
Thank you so much. Okay, so if no one else has any other questions, I think we can end this webinar. As we mentioned before, the webinar is being recorded, so we are going to provide you not only with the link to the webinar, but I'm also going to share with all of you who participated today the PowerPoint presentation for your reference as you go through this process. And once again, I'm going to reiterate that if you need help, please make sure to reach out to the forum either by phone or by email at careercenter@thechildrensforum.com. We hope that everyone has a wonderful day, and thank you so much for your patience, for your cooperation, and for your support through this process. And we hope everyone has a great day. Thank you so much.